Good evening. The video you are about to watch was recorded about a week before Christmas. I tried to upload it once, but then the upload failed, and I just left it. I thought, sack it, isn't that good, who cares? But now I've got a couple of podcast announcements to make, and I figure, I may as well just stick it on, throw it in there, who knows. I mean, do watch it, it's good. It's not that good. Anyways, so it's about Dragon Quest. I felt I had to record that video because since giving my initial impressions on the game, my opinion of it has done a complete 180 in the time since I've been playing it. So I figured I had to set the record straight with that. So the podcast announcements. Number 1, Misadventurous is back, the D&D podcast. So we've got a brand new series with an expanded cast. There's 5 of us playing now. It's a brand new adventure, so you don't have to be familiar with the continuity from Season 1 to be able to jump in. It's good fun. We've already recorded, I think there are 3 episodes out right now, and we've already recorded episode 4. So there's plenty to catch up on there. And it's a fun time, so definitely check it out. It's on the YouTube channel Games We Play, but I'll put the link in the description anyways. Second podcast announcement is that I'm starting a new podcast with Sebastian Black, who you will have seen on some of the Pokemon videos. We've recorded episode 1 and it's up now. It's still in the process of being validated by iTunes, so it's not on there yet. But you can still get it through the website. Again, I'll put the link in the description. And that's it really. So I'm going to leave you with a little clip from the new podcast, which is called Shut Up, It's Good. And that comes to that point in a conversation. You know, when you've got something you really like and you're trying to tell someone about it and they're either not really interested or they're just going like, nah, it doesn't really sound like for me. And in the end, what it boils down to in the end is you just going, shut up. It's good, and you just want them to agree with you and like the thing. Anyways, whatever, who cares? I think it's a good name for a podcast. Maybe it's not. Here's a clip from that, and then my revised opinions on Dragon Quest VII. Do enjoy, even though I told you already it was a complete afterthought, and I didn't want to upload it after it failed one time already. Thanks for watching, see you next time. Now at the start of The Witcher 2, you're in a tent with Triss, and he's sort of, but no, it's a flashback or something, aren't you? But he's like hanging out with the king and stuff. How did that happen?
That happens because of, see, I've said the first witch is inconsequential. It's not. He's hanging out with the king because he helps take down Salamandra, and they're attacking that king's capital city.
Who is the king? Is this King Tolstoy? King Tingly Dingley. I don't know, what's his name?
Do you know, because you've just suggested weird names, I honestly can't remember now.
Tolton, I think it's Tolton.
No!
Hello everyone and good evening. It's 9:20 on Tuesday the 20th of December. In about 10 minutes time I'm going to head off to work because I'm on the night shift over Christmas, which actually suits me quite well. I'm really enjoying it. Before I go, I just wanted to do a quick follow-up on my Dragon Quest VII video. A little while ago I did a video giving my first impressions on Dragon Quest VII, and at the time I was about 15 hours into the game. 15 is a bit premature. 15 hours into the game and really enjoying it. Since then I've put in another 45 hours, say something like that, so I'm around 60 hours in, and I'm so done with it. My opinion has just completely, it's 180'd on the game from being so positive to now. I got to a point where I just flipped the 3DS closed, put it to one side and said I'm done with it. Screw you, Dragon Quest VII. And I just wrote a little entry in it about my diary I was feeling about it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to share this. So there's a few points of why Dragon Quest VII can kiss my ass, which is what I'll probably call this video. Number 1, it goes forever. I mean, that could be a positive for some people. For me, it's not. It just goes forever and ever. And it's... Remember in the other video I was talking about the episodic nature of the story and how I was quite enjoying it. Well, I was enjoying it for a long time until I realised it wasn't progressing in any way. That's all it is. I mean, if you watch a TV show like The Flash, or like any TV show, like you can go back as far as Buffy the freaking Vampire Slayer, and they still knew how to do this. It's like, yeah, you have your little stories week to week, but there should be a through line. There needs to be character development, like your heroes need to grow in some way. Either they're relating with each other, or they've got some kind of thing, some kind of trouble they're dealing with, or... You know, or there's like an overarching villain, and the plot needs to be moving forward, the overall plot, to keep you invested. Because if it's just random things happening with no consequence, move on to the next thing, and then you're just literally just putting everything behind you. Like, it's of no consequence, and who the hell cares? And I've had 60 hours of that. I mean, I don't even know what the freaking villain's face looks like yet. Never, let alone what, you know, like his motivations or his plans are. I don't even know what he wants to do, never mind why he wants to do it. After 60 hours, so why should I give a shit? I've skipped a point there, but who cares? Point number 2. None of the locations in the game feel unique. Every town seems to be built out of every town seems to be built out of the same set of building blocks, down to the people. Even story-relevant NPCs will often be generic characters that pop up everywhere. I mean, that's just a cosmetic point, isn't it? But it takes you right out of it. How are you supposed to? I mean, you're looking at it, I'm like, why didn't I just help this guy out like 10 minutes ago? There's like one character model in particular who's just a big fat beardy man who looks like a military general or something like that. But he's like the mayor of every town in the world. And for some reason it's not cute. You know, like how it is in Pokemon where you go and there's an Officer Jenny everywhere and there's a Nurse Joy everywhere. And it's great. Who cares? But I don't know, I think the reason Pokemon gets away with it, one, it's a TV show, and two, like the story doesn't revolve around Nurse Joy every week, because then you go out of your mind. You'd be like, this is insane. Whereas with Dragon Quest VII, it sort of does. I mean, there are like the odd unique characters, like a fortune teller in one village that I'm pretty sure is a unique character model, but like, besides your main party, it's like you're helping out the same people. It's like, can't you just stay out of trouble for 5 minutes? I know they're different people, they all look the same, so who cares? And there are different locations in the game. There's like one location where the buildings look like there's an architect in the real world. See stuff in like Barcelona, I want to say, Gouda. I don't know, but the buildings look like that, and it looks really nice, and that's unique. And there's places in the desert, and there's like a Roma encampment where they all live in tents and stuff. But for the most part, it looks like it's just been, the whole world has been pieced together from the same little Lego bricks, and it's, after a while you just arrive at a town and you go, wasn't I just here? Like, who cares, man? And you say, well, that's fair enough, Dragon Quest VII is enormous, the world is gigantic, they couldn't have made it, but just don't make the world that big. It's ridiculous. Don't make the game 60, it's unbelievable. You know, in Fellowship of the Ring, where Bilbo's describing his long life, and he says, I feel thin, Gandalf, like butter scraped over too much toast. That's what Dragon Quest VII feels like. What was my other point? Number 3, all the characters in your party have no personality and the character development is 0. I already mentioned that. Point number 4, I'm 60 hours in, I don't even know what the antagonist looks like yet, let alone what his plans or motivations are, so why should I give a shit? I already mentioned that as well. It's ridiculous. Dragon Quest VII. I see, is that all my gripes with it? I mean, at the start of the game, I was saying that it's one of those games that doesn't hold your hand too much, and you've got to talk to NPCs to figure out what it is you're trying to do, and blah blah blah. I'm like, that's fair enough, because as long as you're paying attention, it's fine. But it gets to points in the game where it just becomes so frustrating. You can short-circuit the logic of the game. There was one location, I forget the names of all the characters, or even the name of the town escapes me now, but there was a bridge leading to a town, and behind the town there was a set of cliffs with tunnels going through them. You go up the cliff, and there's a church at the top of the cliff with a guy protecting an idol. And I went up and down those freaking cliff tunnels so many times because I short-circuited the logic. Like, I talked to someone and they mentioned like the monsters are coming or something like that. I'm like, holy shit, I better get down to the bridge. And I go back down through the tunnels, through the village, wander around to the bridge, and then nothing would happen. I'm like, what's going on? So I made my way back through the bridge, back across the town, back up through the tunnels, back to the church, and have a couple more conversations. And they're like, we better go to the bridge. I'm like, alright, so now the game's told me that I should go to the bridge. Go to the bridge, something happens. The only difference is now I've been told to do that. Ridiculous. And I swear to God, I must have gone up and down them caves like 6 or 7 times by doing that. It's just short-circuiting the logic of the game. I think the point where I turned it off, it was in an area where it was like a town where the kids were being turned into monsters or something. I don't even care at this point. And in that region there was a set of caves that led down to an underground dwarven village, and there was a tower, which if you walk in the tower it's just enveloped in darkness. You can't see anything, your characters comment on it, and then you just automatically walk out of the tower. So I went to the town, I had a little talk to all the people. I felt like I talked to everyone, and this is like the standard formula of Dragon Quest VII. It's so formulaic. Go to an island, talk to the people in the town, find out what the trouble is, go to a dungeon, sort it out, come back, talk to the people again. They say, give you a pat on the back. Sometimes you're not sure. It's like, is this the end of, do I move on now or what? You have to hit B and talk to your party. And if they go, well, that was good, let's move to the next island, then you know it's time to go for certain. But sometimes it's not clear, you've got unfinished business and you've got to talk to a few NPCs yet before you move on. Whatever, not the point. So I explored the town, talked to all the people, blah, blah, blah. Nothing seemed to happen. So I explored the area and found the caves and went down to the dwarven village, and all the dwarves basically just said, piss off. And I talked to every single one of them, and they're all like, get out of here, we don't want you. So, alright, left the dwarven cave. I thought maybe there's a conversation or something I'm missing in town. Back to the town. Talked to the people in the town. There was a conversation I'd missed. I missed a vital conversation. And it went to this massive flashback about a pirate or something. It seemed to go on forever. And the point is, the end of that, I got instructions, go to the dwarven cave. I'm like, I was just there, they don't want me. So I went back to the cave. As with the other town, the key difference now is the game has told me that now I am supposed to go there. Apart from that, nothing else has changed, except this time the dwarves go, come in and have a chat. I'm like, you just told me to piss off 10 minutes ago for no reason, what? Right. So I'm in the dwarven caves and I'm there for a reason. I have to pick up some glow moss which will illuminate the dark tower I mentioned earlier. I fight a boss and get the glow moss, great. Back out of the caves I go, which by this time I've been up and down the caves 3 or 4 times. Becoming increasingly pissed off. And that's another thing, you think with all this fighting and stuff I'd be doing, I'd be over leveled or there'd be some advantage like with the grinding I've been doing. 60 hours into the game, my characters are like level 28. The pace is glacial, it's unbelievable, there's no sense of progression at all. It's like... Right, so I leave the cave with the glow moss and walk into the dark tower. It remains dark. And the same thing happens as the first time I went in there. The little text box pops up, it's completely dark, you can't see anything, the characters automatically exit the tower. And I thought, do you know why that is? That's because what I'm probably supposed to do is take this glow moss back to the town, back to the person who told me to get it, and he'll look at it and go, this is the glow moss, with this you can illuminate the tower, and then he'll tell me to go to the tower, then I can go to the tower. And I thought, that's it, innit? I've short-circuited the game once again. Some little trivial bit of logic that I've missed out on there. And I've gone straight to the tower instead of waiting to be told. Close the 3DS, put it on the shelf. Sorry, Dragon Quest VII, what a load of shit. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? But I was just done with it. So that's me told. Never review a game until you finished it, or at least until you're done with it, which I'm done with Dragon Quest VII now. And I'm probably just done with Dragon Quest overall. I'll definitely read some reviews before flipping by the next one, Dragon Quest VIII, which everyone loves. There's 2 Dragon Quest games that everyone loves. Dragon Quest V, which like crosses generations with its story and everything, it's supposed to be amazing. And Dragon Quest VIII, which I can't remember why everyone thinks that's so great, but apparently it's held in really high regard, something to do with the world. I don't know, I'll probably give the game another chance. I felt like this with the Tales series after I played Tales of Zestiria. My god, let's see if I can find the Tales of Zestiria, the moment when I finish Tales of Zestiria. Yeah, that should be on here somewhere. I keep a note of every time I finish a game, I note it down. April 25th. So let's see. Because Zestiria is a bad one. Oh my god. That's May. I don't even know how months work. April 25th. Oh yeah, here we go. Tales of Zestiria. So this is my final entry on Tales of Zestiria in my diary. Why am I still playing this game? It's an effing slog, I said to myself. Managed to creep my way through the last dungeon and had a go at the final boss. First boss fight, oh yeah, spoilers. Heldolf, then F off beastie Heldolf, you have to fight him twice. That's as far as I got. F off Heldolf has a nasty charge attack which he uses periodically. You have to stun him when it does this, or you are dead effing me. I tried twice, nope. After that I went around hunting mini-bosses for a trophy. What is my life? What is my life? Most of the bosses dropped like flies, but there was one called Angel who effed my ass up. I eventually beat Angel after getting a bit of advice from the good old internet. In Zestiria, equipment has skills attached. The sum total of all skills equipped to any given character is represented in a grid. It's effing complicated. You gain certain bonuses for stacking skills on top of each other, or lining them up in rows and columns. I mean, F me. It's so complex. It's just so unwieldy and horrible. Anyway, the advice I got was to make a row called an E-union or something, of 6 skills. This negates the enemy's resistance to the element related to the E-union. How you would ever find that out? I mean, I guess just by experimentation, but like, it's so tricky. You can't... I mean, to get an E-union of 6, you need to go about finding equipment that has the proper skills associated with it and fusing them together in such a way that it will produce the stack or row of skills that you want. It's just so needlessly complicated. I don't know if I set up a water E-union of 6 on Mikleo and F the Angel. Right, good. How was I to figure any of that out on my own? What I really like about this system, aside, I don't like it, I was listening to As It Occurs to Me at the time, is that you only get the bonus for the specific E-union or stack or whatever they have. Oh yeah, you only... I can't even read my own handwriting. You only get the bonus for the specific E-union or stack or whatever that you have. So once I achieve an E-union of 7, the extremely useful E-union 6 bonus disappears. So it's like, not only is it you figuring out how to combine weapons to make the most of this skill system, it's like knowing when to stop. Ridiculous. Who designed this system? I can only imagine that it was intended to sell strategy guides, which are now redundant thanks to the internet. Innovation for the sake of it, stick with an idea and refine it. Zestiria was supposed to be a return to the series' roots. Maybe the Tales series is rooted in overly complex bollocks and shit writing. I don't know, I wasn't there. So that's me getting quite pissed off with Tales of Zestiria. Didn't like it all. Way out of favour with the Tales series. So, but once I dropped Dragon Quest VII from my playlist, I went back to an old game from my backlog. It was Tales of Grace's F from the PS3, and I'm really enjoying it now. Well, I'm not going to get into it because I'm about 10 hours in, and it could do a Dragon Quest VII on me. It could, you know, I could get up to 40 hours in and realise the plot's going nowhere, the characters are annoying, and like, I doubt it though. It's really nice. But why I mention that is a line in that where I tell Tales of Zestiria off for being innovative for the sake of it, and it's like they just created this new system, but it's no good. The reason I mention that is because I'll never be happy, because Dragon Quest VII, one of the things I don't like about that is how familiar it is from Dragon Quest II. That's ridiculous. There's 5 games in between them. It should have evolved. How is it so similar to Dragon Quest II? And that annoyed me, and I didn't like that. So when will I be happy? Will I be happy if the series innovates? Will I be happy if it sticks to its roots? There's probably like some like perfect sweet spot in the middle somewhere where I will be happy. But other than that, I'm just a miserable person, I guess. Final Fantasy is the watchword for innovation, isn't it, in the RPG scene? And look at the state of that. For me, the golden era of Final Fantasy is the PS1. 7, 8 and 9. 7 and 9 are especially good. Then you get to the PS2 era, 10. It's like just more iteration, but it's not really... You know what I mean? It's like a grand departure. Then once you get to 11, it's a flipping MMO. You're like, well, what happened here? Innovation. Peck in my head. Final Fantasy 12. That's a console RPG that walks like an MMO. What? Like what? I haven't played that, despite owning a copy of it since the PS2 era. Man alive. Then you get to the PS3, it's the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. What a train wreck. Then 14, another MMO. Everything I've heard about Final Fantasy 15 makes me believe that the series is back on track. But I can't be bothered. If I went to play it now, I'd spend 50 quid that I haven't got. So I'm not going to. I'm going to play Tales of Graces, and hopefully it won't do a Dragon Quest VII, it'll stay good. I'm really enjoying Tales of Graces at the moment. It's colourful, the areas are really nicely designed, all the gameplay systems fit in well with each other. I'll not get into it. I'm just going to get into it anyways. Thanks for watching this completely pointless video. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye!